What is up, everybody? MonkeyPuzzle here, and it's time for episode number 26 of Exploring Ragnarok. And I got a bunch of ideas in store for today, more than I can possibly do. So I'm still working out exactly what it's going to be, but I got distracted because somewhere over here is a 130 Kettel. And I'm going to try taming it in a way I have not done before, which is actually shooting from the back of a griffin. It looks like I need to get a little closer. And so I'm going to chase it down this way. The griffin should have no problem keeping up with it. And the fact that I can actually shoot from it is a game changer. If I can actually ever pull off hitting it, we'll see how this goes. I got to at least get a hit on it before I take a break and bring you guys back. Let's see. Get my weapon again. Got to get much more adept at all of that. So this is going to be practice for me in doing this. And still no hit. Okay. We're going to make this happen. Let's see. I'm going to get real close. Maybe even like go straight into it. And then I'm going to equip and shoot. And the time it takes me to load the bullet each time, it definitely gets some distance. There we go. So I'm going to chase it around probably for quite a while and knock it out. And then I'm going to get serious about what I'm actually going to do with this episode. I think what we're going to do is drop down a mobile base, or, well, it's not. I'm going to use a mobile base to drop down a semi-permanent base, is a better way to say it, in the beginning of the trek from the west into the murder snow. And I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to bring you back with that and get started. But for now, I'm getting distracted. So I thought I'd show you my distraction first. See you in a little bit. Alright, I just got it down. I got better as I went along, obviously. One thing that BFun told me while I was doing this is when you equip your gun, he was getting away really fast because it took me, I'm just going to lose a bullet like that. If you put it away while it's still loading, when the next time you take it out, it's got to do the whole loading thing. And then while that's happening, of course, it's flying away. But if I now put it away when it's fully loaded, the next time I put it back out, it's ready to go. So that's just a little nuance that made this work a lot better. So thank you to BFun for telling me that. Anyway, I'm out here in the murder snow. I've got an ice cube, but I haven't lost too much health yet. I've got some mutton chops on me, so I'm just going to go ahead, if I can access this inventory, and drop those on it so the taming starts. It looks like somebody was here before, because they've got a ton of torches on the ground here. I can actually stand here and be okay. Anyway, it looks like I've pulled this tame off. If something silly happens, I'll let you know. But otherwise, I'm just going to finish this up, have this Kettel, and get into the rest of the episode. See you soon. Alrighty, so I got BFun over here now. What's up, BFun?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
We'll see him running around naked in just a second.
Well,
blue hair.
Almost naked. I had a little time to kill, so.
Okay, you found some clothes. But I got the Kettel tamed up just fine. I just wrote its name is its original level at this point. So if you all have a name for this fine Kettel, I'd surely appreciate it. But it tamed out at level. Actually, I forget now. I've put a couple levels on it already. I guess I could figure it out if I was willing to do some math. But I'm not. And the levels are pretty good already. His health is up to 6,900. Stamina is above 2,000 now. It was about 1,900 when I first started. I'm going to take stamina up a bit more. And then weight is already at 1,520, so that's great. Melee is what it is, 283. And movement speed is a fantastic 136.5% of who knows what of slowness. I think they put that 36.5 just to make you feel like it's faster. Oh, look at you. You're all dudded out. Yeah.
Found some dye.
Right on, yeah. I got lots of it. I guess, I never showed people the die thing. We're not going to do that whole adventure I talked about today, so we got a little time to kill. But what we're going to do is get ready for it. In a second, I'm going to show you the drop-down base that we're going to disassemble and take the murder snow on that paracer base. But here from Eco's mod, I went ahead and added in this cooker, which I haven't actually used to cook things with. I suppose I could have made that to bring with us. Does it cook things? Have you used it?
It does. It's pretty good. It's a nice, it's almost like a grill. It's got like 200 slots. I love it. It's great. But the die maker's the best part.
So does it function like the industrial grill or like the industrial cookpot?
Like the industrial grill.
Okay. So yeah, there's that. But this little thing, the only reason I made this is to hang this on it. The die mixer. It makes all the dies just with berries, and you can actually select the die you want from here. So it's a little OP in that it doesn't need the gunpowder or the charcoal or the spark powder or whatever. But I love being able to pick the color and just use berries. So yeah, and I have spent plenty on on all those other materials. In fact, I had a whole cabinet over here, not this one, of dies I had made with all those materials, and then I lost when we updated Extra ARK, and I lost the wall cabinet. So it was kind of nice just to be able to replace them and not spawn them in to replace them, and be this much simpler. So anyway, yeah, you can get the whole repertoire of colors very easily with that. So I'm loving that. But anyway, let's go ahead and show you what the plan is. So down here, let's go ahead and take a quick hop. Oh, and apparently, I learned recently that these guys, they can pick up whatever a pteranodon can pick up. So before, the smallest thing I tried was a raptor. But they can pick up a person. And anything else a pteranodon can pick up.
Have you gone into K mode when they're carrying something and looked at them?
No.
Kind of cool. They carry him in their front paws. It's the one bird that looks like he's actually holding on to something.
Well, now that you said that, I have to try it. Let's check it out. Oh, yep. And then I can drop you. Let's throw B-Fun in the taming pen. We're going to tame him.
All right. Let me out! Let me out!
You can't get through the doors. Aha, let me get my trank gun out real quick. No. We won't trank him. He's being tame enough this episode.
Yes, I'm unarmed. I fast traveled, so I'm unarmed.
So last time I showed you guys a quick peek of this. This is a whole thing, and I won't get into the details of this one just yet, or maybe I will at the end if I get into talking. But up here, basically, I'm just making a bunch of test builds for things that you could carry on your dinos and drop down when you get somewhere. It wouldn't be too difficult to set up. Now, of course, for me, they tend to get big, and this one got bigger. This is the one that I really want to focus on today, because we're going to use this in the next episode, basically. I'm going to tell you what it is and why, and we're going to take it apart and see how much it weighs and how much it takes to get it on a dino. Yeah, and these two were basically built with two different sets of parameters. I might as well tell you the parameters on both at this point. This one, the idea was to make something that when you set it down, a hostile dino cannot clip in far enough to kill you, right? So it's kind of hard to see. You've got the bed here now, but if you place down the S+ triangles in a little circle, I am starving, then you get that far, and then the next layer around gets you this far, and then one more layer gets you this far. So just working with the basic S+ shapes and doing the concentric radiuses going out, because you've all seen like when a Rex or something chases you, and if it bites through the wall, it gets through at least one foundation worth, if not more. So, a little 1x1 base or even a 4x4 base is not really big enough to keep you safe if it decided to try to bite you through it. And I've seen people die that way in videos and stuff. So this would be enough that even if something really hostile was chasing you, you could get in the center and be safe. And most of these critters probably would be too. This guy's not. By the way, this is a tangent, but this is the new Sabertooth model. Let's take one outside. These guys are all attached to each other, so hopefully I don't get them all coming out. But there it is. I like them. I think they're cool. I mean, the main difference is they're not plasticized as much. They've got more of the actual hair thing going on. But they're just a little bigger, too. They're bigger at the shoulder. And I don't know if they're smaller at the back and they just look that way because the B-Fun's getting a very close look there.
I think their teeth look longer and sharper than the old ones. I'm not sure.
They definitely look fiercer.
Yeah.
But, you know, the face is just bigger, too.
Yeah.
So, but they're more expressive. Cool. And they actually blink now. You look long enough. They don't blink too often. There we go. Which the other ones didn't. So, they're more realistic, for sure. And they feel like they're more powerful. You know, enough to do what sabers actually can do. So that's cool. And I know I'm still on the tangent. I was telling you about these little ports. But this is... the sabers and the bears are actually part of it, because I've been collecting these guys to be part of some expeditionary crews, because... our sabers, the first crew of them that we took overland, they're still out in the furthest southeast, out in the desert that you can't get to if you're unofficial, but you can if you're on unofficial.
I was out there the other day, by the way. I fed them while I was there.
Oh, thank you. So we still got 4 sabers out there, so these are sort of the replacements for here. We're going to just be able to put them at different outposts now. And then the bears are still out at the chalet. So these are some ones to have another expeditionary crew with these guys. So anyway, that was the main parameter here. And then also, you know, it's not a rectangle, but it's nothing too fancy. I mean, this is the basic geometry you get from working with S+. And then added a few things to it to try to, like, feature it out. So we got the fireplaces all around, and hopefully that is enough for the Murder Snow. If that's where this ends up going, it will be enough radiant heat, even if you're at the center. I'm pretty sure we're covered. And B-Fun came in with Eco's mod before I'd even mess with it, and went ahead and put in the Persian rug and these nice smoking chairs to sit and watch the fire by and tell all your stories about all the evil monsters that you've conquered and everything. One thing about the fireplaces is that I've also doubled it up. In the back, each one of them has an air conditioner embedded, so that you can either do it with fires, which takes wood or spark powder or whatever, or you can just, let me see, jump up here and fire up the generator, and with 1 can of gas, you'll have 6 air conditioners going, and that should be enough to keep them from freezing. And then got this upper part up here, so that the downstairs can mainly be dino parking, and then up here you could actually put in your smithy and your storage and stuff like that if you were really going to settle in for a while. And then up here you got roof access, and then just use the little sloped triangle roofs here to make a little skylight to add interest, and put a railing around the side, also just to give it a little texture. One thing we have to watch out for is you won't want to stand right there or wherever a fireplace is actually on. And let's see if I can get back down here. I think that's everything to cover about this one. And just the little Ecos mod lamps on the outside. I did try to break up the outside a little bit more by putting these awnings over the windows. Not sure about how I feel about them, but they do add some interest, I think. Keeps it from being just a cylinder.
I like them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're all right. They do make it look like it's sort of going to spin and fly away. That would really be a great mobile base if this thing could just like whoop, 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 fly away. Okay, so that was what that one's about, and that one is going to get disassembled and dropped down somewhere very soon. Not sure exactly where, But I was thinking that if I am going to do this overland, I mean, I could just do it on the Kettel one now too. I need a way that I can just park the paracer that you guys saw me build. The, oh gosh, Arahli had an acronym for it. It was like Monkey's Mobile Atmospheric Regulation System. That is, so it's like MMARS, Mars. So I don't know, maybe that's what it's called now. I think that's a pretty good acronym. But if you get somewhere in the murder snow, one problem we have with the chalet is that the paracer has to stay outside, and so you have to leave all the bears tethered to it, and there's some risk there. Not too much if it has enough bears, but still. So this is designed to be able to bring this thing all the way in, and it's basically going to be the thing it parks in. So when we did the murder snow before, we came in from the east side, and we got to about there, and that's where the chalet is. And so I wanted to set this up all the way over on the west end, and so this paracer will park there, and he'll be able to take it back and forth over the murder snow, and, you know, be able to travel overland back and forth. Or that place is also pretty well positioned for going down into the desert if you want it to function for that, because with the air conditioners it'll work either in the cold or extreme heat. So that's a lot of talking already, but just a few other things to note. And BFun, actually, he made a base like this too, right, BFun?
Yeah, some time ago, although I did it in single player, and so I had the advent of having Platforms Plus as well, and so this is basically the idea, although what I would use is the wedges from the platform for the roof structure, and I kind of had a modular setup where I could make it as wide or as narrow as I needed, depending on how much capacity I needed. It worked out really well.
Right.
I originally made it to go into the snow biome, and it's great. It's like a whole class lodge with minimal pieces. So very cool.
And the operative thing that's designed around is this sloped hatch frame, basically. So I think the slope one is only available in Structures Plus. Mm-hmm. So you have to have Structures Plus to build this, but this is a behemoth hatch frame. So unlike a behemoth gate, which is 7.5 spaces wide and just hugely tall, this is only 4x4, which works out really well, but somehow you can still magically get everybody through it in the same way. So I thought I'd use the sloped hatch frames as the behemoth gate and be able to make it much more compact. And that's what it requires to get the paracer into it. And then I had to work with this nice slope thing. So using that as the way in, sort of designing it as this lean-to thing. And I'm not particularly thrilled with how it looks like from the outside, but it was definitely a case of function over form in designing this. Basically just a real functional base that's, you know, all stone and stuff so that it can't be attacked by anything but maybe an alpha. Or a giga, which I haven't seen any gigas up in the snow. Hopefully you won't get the attention of an alpha. If you do, well, that's something else, but I didn't want to do it all metal, because that would just be too harsh looking. Anyway, yeah, so you can get your dinos in. You got to step down right away in order for it to work. Actually, I had this foundation going out too further, but as you can see, I could demonstrate, of course, but you can get anything that goes through a behemoth gate in and out of here. I got a Rex in and out, and obviously I've got this mammoth and this paracer in and out. And if it was just things without platform saddles, it would only need the one hatch frame. But I went higher so that the platform saddle build could make it all the way in. So yeah, that's that. And so it widens out here a little bit in the middle just to make a bigger space for the dinos in here. And, or, you know, neither one of these is actually a dino, but you know what I'm talking about. And I kind of like, actually, that they get to sit on the grass and stuff. It makes sense. They can come in here and graze and so on. And this is going to be warmed by air conditioners as well. because gas is just a lot easier than the spark powder. 1 can of gas will get you started for an hour, whereas, you know, with spark powder, you'd have to load every single fireplace and get it going. We experienced that over at the chalet. What we also experienced is a random player coming in here and leaving all the fireplaces on and burning up tons and tons of spark powder that was all ground up.
100 stacks of spark powder.
100 stacks of spark powder. So with this, it's much less of a risk with gas. So down here, where you come in with the critters, I've got kind of the kitchen area with the fridge and the grill and the water. We got metal reservoirs out the back and salt and stuff like that. So that's good. I forgot to hide the sparks from that, but got the power going around the whole rest of the place. And then you can either climb up this ladder, or if you mount the paracer and come in here, you can actually walk right off onto this little loading dock thing and come over here to the upper level. And the upper level is kind of the whole crafting area. You can stare out the picture window as you do your crafting and stuff like that. And you can repair your rifles and your crossbows and such like, and have a certain amount of storage up here. And then another row of air conditioners up here. So I don't know how many air conditioners we're going to need up there, if this is going to cover it. I mean, the number, I'm sure, is fine, because we've... B-Fun gets around on his Kettel with 3 air conditioners.
Yeah, I think you're going to have plenty.
And then I put 8 on my paracer and my Kettel, and I did that mainly just to show off so that I could actually run around in the murder snow naked. Because, you know, that's just bragging rights. So didn't really need that. And so there's plenty in number in here, but I'm not sure, like, if you're in the middle here, if their effect is going to be enough. I'm pretty sure it is. We also, if the paracer's in here, you're going to have the effect of these 8 if it's on. And with the Kettel, at least, we've tested that if you stand underneath it with the air conditioners on, it works fine. Paracer is a little taller, so we'll see. Anyway, that's a lot of talking about this and why it is how it is and what we designed it around. One last little bit is I like that you could walk up this, and if I didn't have the animals in there, whoop, don't look at me. Stop it. You can actually open this up and use it as an impromptu taming pen. Maybe put some doors in the back before the kitchen part, and you could actually have something chase you up here and drop down in. And if you put a wall of door frames here, you could just run right in and be safe and trank them from here. So yeah, if you're up there, you could easily convert this into, like I said, an impromptu taming pen. So for the last part of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart and we're going to put it on the critters and see if it fits on them and how much weight we actually get. So we'll have to look at these guys real quick. I'll have to take some of this stuff off to get the full weight, but let me see. Just with the saddle, apparently, this is the Mammoth is 20, and the paracer right now got some stuff on it. That can come off, that could come off. So say it was like that, it's at about 151. So we'll see what they actually weigh when we put it on them, and see if we can do it just with these guys or if we're going to need like a full train of bears or whatever. This must be less than the chalet.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah. But we're going to do that now. We'll bring you back and show you that, and then we'll be ready to actually put it together in the very next episode, make the actual journey. So see you in a minute. Alright, we got it taken apart and put on the Mammoth, and we left the foundations that needed to get buried to build up from. And we'll need to bring some extra with us, because, you know, Structures Plus, you can stack foundations, and it works great on uneven ground where the foundations wouldn't necessarily fit. Like you can see, there was this big dip right here that we covered over. But just to get the true piece count of the structure without that, we didn't put those in yet. So the weight minus the saddle of all that stuff with the salt and with the gas is 1,258. So this mammoth can carry it all no problem. And then I'll just do a slow scroll down here, and you can pause and get the piece count from each of these guys, you know. So there's like 62 walls and only 18 foundations. I'm kind of surprised. 14 triangle ones and so on and so forth. But anyway, I won't read off the number of all the pieces here, but you can, like I said, you can pause and you can see what they are. Let me try to keep the pop-ups off of that so you can really see. And yeah, there it is. All right, everybody. Well, that was a lot of talking. Thank you, BFun, for helping me take that apart.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Appreciate that. So next episode won't need to be so much talking at all. Now that I've shown you the design and what we're going to do, we're all packed up and I'll be ready to go. So as soon as the episode starts, we're going to head out and journey over there. I've already got an overland route sort of picked out, because to get to over there from here, well, we could either go up around that way and over the bridge, but that's in Ice Wyvern territory, or we can go all the way down through that waterfall tunnel and up around that way, and then we're going to be at the place where this goes up over there somewhere. I think that's the way
to go. I did a little scouting too, and I like that.
Yeah. So we'll do that right away next time. But for now, where is BFun?
Right here. Oop.
Ah. Yeah. Let's maybe go buy the mammoth with all the stuff on it. Yep. We're going to sign out for now. So thank you for watching until the end of this episode. I will see you for the adventure in the next. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was so synchronized.
Boy, wasn't it ever. That was perfect.
Bye, folks.